Okay, we are discussing el pretérito, the preterite tense, and we're going to start with just looking at this quick little story that's right here. You'll notice some of the words are bold in red, some of them are bold in blue. You should be able to recognize the difference between them just by looking at them and knowing what they look like. This one here, we are going to turn green and leave alone for a while only because it's still the same type of verb as the other ones that you see here, but it is an unusual one, so we're not going to deal with those right now. So if we locate the verbs, we see they're in red. Take a look at the endings and tell me what you notice about them. They obviously are not anything that we've looked at before. And then we want to try and translate this story and determine what tense the verbs are in. So if I look at this first sentence, I'll give you a second to try and figure it out. But it has a lot of words in it that we already know. El sábado pasado, may not know pasado, but we know Saturday. We can kind of see maybe there's a word here in English we know, okay? I, something, to the supermarket, okay? So does it make sense to say, last Saturday, or the Saturday past, I probably went to the supermarket. I, something, it looks like comprar, but not sure of the ending, many fruits and many vegetables. Okay, well, what do you do when you go to the supermarket? You buy things. Well, if you went last Saturday, you bought many fruits and many vegetables. Also, I bought many more groceries like bread, cereal, milk, pasta, etc. Now we have something in blue and bold. You should recognize this and this and this as prepositions that we just got done talking about. So después de means after, buying, okay? When an infinitive follows this, you turn it into the gerund, into the ing form. So after buying the groceries, I returned to my house. At 5, I, what do you think? Prepared a magnificent meal. Before eating, there it is again, just what we saw up here, I called my friends in order to share the meal with them. Okay, or with me. So what you have is, this is past tense, and what do you notice? All these are yo forms, okay? This is an AR verb, this is an AR verb, this is an AR verb, this is an ER verb, and this is another AR verb. This one also past tense, but like I said, we're not dealing with that right now. All right, so what we could say is, if we made a statement about what we see so far, verbs that end in AR in the preterite have a yo form that ends with an accented E. Okay? Now we have to go back up here because this ER verb doesn't follow that statement that we just made. Okay, so let's just color this red because that has to do with AR verbs. And let's make another statement. Verbs that end in ER have a yo form that ends with, and what do you see? An accented I. Okay? So we have those two statements about what we see so far. Let's take a look at the next slide here. So, tenemos alguna información importante sobre el pretérito. El pretérito es uno de los dos tensos pasados en español. So there are two past tenses. The preterite is the first that we're going to discuss. El pretérito se usa para describir una acción completado, completed in the past. Okay? The interesting thing about this is that the ed that's being used here basically is a hint about the preterite. The past tense in English, we use ed to indicate past tense. So this next statement is really important. This is the equivalent of a word ending in ed. Okay, now, don't forget we have lots of irregular verbs in English, just like we do in Spanish. Okay? In the second screencast I'm about to do here, we'll go more into the key words. So go to screencast number 2 on the preterite right now.